Hello friends and welcome back to the channel for war number 4 of season 46. Today we have a rematch of sorts against Nefti. We played these guys for the first time ever last season and I think it was a pretty close loss on our part. So looking for some revenge today. Chavez, Deathstrike, and Chee'ilth coming to war for the first time. Very excited to be able to use her in Alliance War. I love the champion. Think she is fantastic. And throwing her right into the fire here, we have a rank 3 Joe FIXIT on Hazard Shift with Power Focus 1. And Joe FIXIT is one of the most dangerous defenders in this war meta because of that special 1. You cannot dex it. So if he throws a special 1, you are probably dead unless you have that passive taunt up. So what we're going to try and do is completely ignore the tactic, which I know seems kind of antithetical here, and try to block bait him up to his special 2. And we don't want to place that passive taunt on him because, again, we don't want to give him any extra chance or desire to throw that special 1. Other than that, we're basically ignoring Hazard Shift, as you can see, and relying on our natural cleanses and also the Tranquilize from her special 2 in order to deal with the Hazard Shift debuffs. And then once he's at the special 2 here, I remember him being very finicky with the special 2 at least twice in this fight. So we managed to get the first one out of him, get the full deck, so now we're set. You also notice that I am comfortable throwing the special 2 when he is between a bar and 2 bars of power. And that's because I was very confident that the distance that the special 2 creates means that he wasn't going to throw the special 1 as long as I was holding block immediately coming out of that special 2. So the Indestructible is from that Feat of Indestructible node, so you basically just have to ignore that as well. And again, we have successfully pushed him up to 2 bars of power, and now we're going to spend what feels like an eternity baiting out this special 2. This is a special that can really catch you off guard, so I'm like trying to be very intentional with my movements right now and not really, you know, I'm being very hesitant about hitting into his block to kind of like pseudo taunt him because I don't want to get special intercepted here, especially since I'm already at half health from all the various chip damage and hazard shift debuffs. So I decided to toss my special 2 in hopes that it finally gets him to do something. You can see all of the Daunteds are gone, so we don't even get rooted from that special 2, which is pretty funny. Right there, I made a bit of a mistake here and accidentally intercepted him. Fortunately, it looks like I'm going to be able to block bait him to the special 2 anyways. I feel like I got really lucky there. Back to another special 2, and again, this is a rank 1 Chee'ilth versus a rank 3 Joe, and she absolutely handled that without a problem. Really happy with how she performed in this war. Alright, up in section 2 we have a MANGOG on 26. This is a pretty simple fight here. We're just going to go in with Chavez. We don't really necessarily need to keep 2 of the negative zones up to handle his power gain because there's no other real danger for him on this fight. You know, he's going to get buffs when he goes into that like rage mode or whatever it's called. But I don't think it's going to be enough where it's going to trigger that power efficiency node. So, and he doesn't have enough buffs for the overwhelming odds node either. So, so I'm basically just playing this fight straight up with Chavez. Yeah, we're going to go right into the special 2 here with the Utopian Parallel. That does a whole bunch of damage. Really strong special attack, especially when you get those crits. And now I notice that he's at 9 Hatred, so we're going to let him toss the special 1, trigger his Unstoppable, then we can safely special intercept with our special 1 to remove the Unstoppable, and we are already set up about ready for another special 2. So I do the double hit cancel, which gives us a nice little bit of regen, and we finish that fight with a full yellow bar. Alright, next up we have a HULKLING on 35. We've taken this fight many times before in the last season or 2. This is a lot easier because this person is running full suicides, as you'll see. So a huge portion of the damage is from that double edge and also the recoil here. So, you know, I'm still playing this the same way. I'm keeping, you know, 2 negative zones up at all times to deal with his power gain. But other than that, he mostly kills himself here, as you're going to see. Very cooperative with his special attacks, and you know that 5% health every time does quite a bit, as you'll see. Yeah, so pushed myself to the special 3 there. No worries. Actually, looks like they're running full recoil too. I just noticed that now because they're losing 15% per special. or maybe it's only 10. I can't really tell. Oh, he had the indestructible up that time. So yeah, it feels like max recoil. That's wild. If so, I can't believe I just noticed that now. So yeah, this fight much easier than it would normally be, thanks to that mastery setup. All right, up on the first mini boss island, we have a bishop here on 39, rank 3 bishop. And you notice I have my rank 2 Deathstrike. You also notice that I forgot to put a relic on my rank 2. This was a mistake. I wanted to bring the rank 2 because I wanted the extra. I didn't want the rank disadvantage to be so much with my rank 5 Sig 200. And I knew that the rank 2 could get the job done without a problem. However, I did not mean to forget the relic, so it doesn't really come into play in this fight anyway. So the strategy here is really we cannot push him like at all above 2 bars of power, because when power snack triggers, it's going to give him close to 3 bars of power, and there's very little room for error here. Now, if we do manage an intercept, it is going to drain the rest of his power on that special 2, but I'm not really worrying too much about it. I'm just focused entirely on his power meter, because if we take a special 3 in this fight, it's going to be bad news. I can't remember if I popped an invulnerability boost on here or not. You also notice that we're just ignoring our special attacks. Again, we're going to be taking so many blocked hits in this fight that even if we do trigger Ferocity, or when we trigger it rather, it's going to be gone like right away. So there's really no point in doing that. Plus we get the power stings on us pretty much all the time with that power snack node as well. When he pushes himself over 2 bars with power snack, it is safe to give him a couple of extra taps there, because you have like a 7-second or so window to get a dex off and gain that precision buff safely. Other than that, this is just, you know, kind of rinse and repeat. Just take it slow, take it easy, watch his power meter, and make sure that you nail all of those special 2 dexes. We did get tagged from one earlier. It didn't hurt us too much, but if he goes to that special 1, then you're going to probably be in some trouble. No prowess to worry about here either, because Deathstrike is a tech champ, of course, and we have no energy damage feeding him prowess. And I think one more combo, or do I finish off? I don't even bother with the special 3. I'm not sure why I didn't just throw the special 3s though. Alright, last fight of the war for me is a SAURON on node 40, rank 3 SAURON. I'm going to go in here with Deathstrike once again. So with Burden of Might, we want physical damage only, which is perfect for Deathstrike here. I'm sorry, not Burden of Might, higher energy diet, we only want physical damage. And then with Burden of Might, we're going to be having less access to our special attacks, but I'm not really worried about that here. Again, similar to other mutant fights that I've taken with Deathstrike this season, the most important thing here is to make sure that you have a heal block on him at all times, and that's going to prevent the unblockable. It's not going to prevent you from trying to dex that special 2 and taking the entire thing to the face. Fortunately, Deathstrike's regen is so overpowered that she just regens pretty much the entire thing back, and we're still sitting pretty at 87%. So lesson learned, don't push him to the special 2, otherwise you're going to have a pretty bad time. If one of the, you know, if he had gotten a couple good crits there, it's possible that he could have like instantly killed me before the regen could trigger, so being a bit more mindful of that now. The other thing I'm being mindful of during the special 1 is that there is a hit event when he jumps off the ground and flaps his wings, and I found out about that in Necropolis, so you can see me doing like 3 dexes here, and that's because you will get tagged in the middle if you just sit there and dodge the beam and then the first hit. So there are 3 hits there that you need to dodge. Other than that, we have the fight well under control now here. Not going to push into the special 2 again, and Deathstrike is one of those champions where, you know, she has so much dot that it doesn't really look like it's doing much, but it adds up to quite a bit. Right there, take another special 1 to the face, trigger the degen on myself, but the fight is pretty much over, so I'm not concerned at all. I'm going to finish it off with a special 1, and that ends the war for me. Very happy with my performance today. So 5 kills, 0 deaths, and most importantly, we did come away with the win. It came down to a few fights for them at the end of the war. I think the score was like 23-20 at the end of everything. So yeah, really happy with this war. This season is just wild. Like a score of 23-20 in a master level war is still, I'm still not entirely used to it yet, but that's, you know, that's the new normal, it seems like. So Our record on the season has improved to 3-1. Looking forward to the rest of the season, I guess. The season is already a third over. We'll see who we get next. Folks, if you enjoyed this one, please let me know by hitting that like button. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.